Minnesota trans shooter. Let's take a look at that, and then we'll get into it with that one.
With news breaking out of Minneapolis, there are so many senseless shootings in America, it can almost become horribly easy to get numb to them.
Yep.
But what happened today was so diabolical, it will be hard to forget. It happened during a mass at a Catholic school for pre-K through 8th grade kids, just 2 days into the new school year. Good evening, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Vargas. Police tonight are investigating why a shooter in his early 20s, dressed in black, opened fire through the stained glass windows of the school's church, spraying bullets at children as they sat and prayed in pews.
That's crazy.
2 of those children are dead tonight, and more than a dozen are hurt. The shooter then turned the gun on himself, killing himself and leaving behind a disturbing manifesto. It all happened at around 8:30 local time this morning at Annunciation Catholic Church. It's a private school with around 390 students. Those 2 children who died were only 8 and 10 years old. 17 other people were injured in the shooting, 14 of them children, at least one of them as young as 6. All of them are expected tonight to survive. Just yesterday, these kids were celebrating the start of a new school year, and now they're dealing with unfathomable tragedy. And the rest of us are left asking and wondering what would drive someone to do something so horrific. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara gave some insight into that in an update late this afternoon.
All right. Oh, man. All right. So, it's just heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy. So this person obviously suffered from mental health. He was mentally disturbed. There was, you know what, continue that, because it actually, it shows something that he wrote in a journal.
The coward that shot these victims took his own life in the rear of the church.
Yeah, he definitely is a coward, but
That coward has been identified as 23-year-old
then he would have been able to survive prison,
Robin
you know?
Westman. No prior criminal history. As to the weapons used to perpetrate this horrific attack, there was a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. All 3 had been lawfully purchased by the shooter. At this stage, we believe that the shooter had acted alone. There is no indication of other suspects.
As you just heard, the gunman was identified as Robin Westman, but was born Robert Westman and changed his name to Robin when he was 17 years old. The police chief also confirmed the existence of that written manifesto that the gunman also recorded on video and then uploaded online.
We're also aware of a manifesto that the shooter had timed to be released on YouTube. This manifesto appeared to show him at the scene and included some disturbing writings. That content has since been taken down with the assistance of the FBI, and it now remains under active review by our investigators.
We are starting, however, to get images from what we believe to be that recording, and they reveal some very sick and disturbing messages. He wrote, "Kill Donald Trump" on a Rifle magazine. In another image, you see the words, "For the children," and in another, "Where is your God?" And then we get a shot of the so-called manifesto itself. Part of it says, "I love you all, I will remember you, pray for the victims and their families." He goes on to say, "I am not well, I'm in pain, I am haunted by these thoughts that do not go away. I've been waiting to do this." He writes, "P.S. I wouldn't recommend any of you to read my journals unless you really want to, but be warned." There are reports he had ties to this school. The New York Times is reporting that the gunman went there, graduated from 8th grade there, and that his mother used to work at the school. Joining me right now is retired Sheriff Rich Static. He was the
Okay. All right, so the parents of this person confirmed that he was trans before he became an adult. There's a lot of people already looking into this person, and it turns out that his mom confirmed, his parents, both mom and dad, confirmed his delusion and he started his transitioning process before he became 18. Now, a lot of people are going to say that, you know, the trans people are, you know, becoming increasingly violent. And I don't think it's that trans people are becoming increasingly violent. I think that the mental health of people is getting worse. And this is a manifestation of that. Because, you know, I was started looking into like mass shootings, and mass shootings started rising just like 10 years ago. Like after the Columbine shooting and then the Sandy Hook shooting, it just got significantly worse, you know, and people want to tie this to race. Like, oh, it's, you know, like the white males are overly aggressive. Like that doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter what color they are. Because there's black on black crime that happens way more often than mass shootings. It doesn't matter. What matters is, why are these mass shootings happening? Why are people so willing to end people's lives? That's what matters. That's what the root of the problem is. And then leaders and politicians want to say, oh, well, we need more gun control. That's not the problem. The problem is, who is behind the gun? Is it a person with a sane mind, or is somebody who is mentally disturbed? It's not the gun. The gun doesn't shoot itself. It's the person who decides to pull the trigger. That's where the root cause of the problem is. And people who want to say gun control don't actually want to find out what the root problem is, because they don't really care. They just want to take your Second Amendment right away. Those are the same people who say, oh, First Amendment right, burning the flag is a First Amendment right. But they're real quick to remove your Second Amendment right. Real quick. So, to me, it's not about gun control. You should have a right to defend yourself. You should have a right to defend your body. It has to do with mental health. The amount of people taking antidepressants is insane. I had somebody that I knew personally that was taking antidepressants. And this person admitted to me that they were having thoughts to end their life. And I had to tell this person, it's because you're taking those pills. And they were like, but the doctor prescribed them to me. I go, well, you need to start rethinking what is better for you, not what your doctor is telling you. In her case, I'm not saying that prescriptions are bad, because if you have schizophrenia, you definitely need to be prescribed something. If you have, bipolar disorder, if you have like other things, I understand. But if you have anxiety or depression, antidepressants, I don't think should be the first thing you take as a cure, because it's not supposed to cure you.
It's funny because the name is antidepressants, but that's the opposite of what it
doesn't do that.
It makes you depressed, more depressed.
Exactly. It makes you heavily depressed.
And suicidal too.
Exactly. So I personally think that, I'm not saying that there is a correlation between antidepressants and mass shootings. I'm just saying that there is a correlation between the rise of mass shootings that have now become also trans people committing these mass shootings is a sign of severe mental health issues in this country. That's what I'm saying. In men specifically, because the people committing these crimes happen to be males. Regardless of what they identify as, they are biological males and they are victims of mental health. So the root of the problem is what is going on with the psyche of people. What is it that we need to change in the environment for there to be less of this? And I think technology is a big one. People are really stuck to the screen. People are really hooked on pills. And I think that a lot of things can be cured by getting sunlight, drinking water, sleeping, eating healthier, exercising, think meditation. prayer. There are things that we take advantage of and we don't see as something that makes a big impact in our lives because it's seen as holistic, you know. It's not something that a doctor will prescribe you, you know, but you know it's good for you. And when leaders like the Minnesota mayor kind of dismissed prayer, it's so demonic to dismiss prayer when 2 lives are just lost. 2 innocent lives were just lost. And you're gonna say prayer is not gonna do anything? Are you serious? These are people who believe in God. They were just at a church praying, and you're gonna say prayer doesn't matter? Like,
That's
that to
wild.
me is,
That's wild.
I mean, again, you have a right to say that, First Amendment right, but as a leader, that is not what you say. These are your people. You don't say that. Instead, you pray with them. The reason why he said it is because he does not believe in God. He doesn't believe in God. He can say he does, but he doesn't really believe in God. There's nobody who will believe in God and will say what that man said. He dismissed God in that moment in time when God was needed the most.